Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome. Wednesday night. It's a Wednesday night. I was going to go WEND, but we can't. I was going to go SATURDAY night, but I can't because it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, everybody. Welcome. Why are we here on Wednesday? We're here on Wednesday because two things. One, because I won't be live on Saturday night, and B, because this actually worked with Kathleen, and C, because we're going to start doing Wednesday nights starting May, whatever it is, May 1st. Yes, May 1st is our first Wednesday night for spring, summer. You know, you guys got things to do on a Saturday night, and you probably want to go to the roller skating rink and do all that kind of stuff, or go to the drive-through movie theater. I'm really showing my age. And do all that fun stuff. So welcome. Let's say hello to the people that are here. If you're new, tell us you're new. Hello, everybody. Hello, Gail and Carson and Karen and Chris. I was just wishing you had something today. Cindy, that's why you need to be on my email list so you get the copy of the whole month calendar events. Hello, Jean. Connie Flores, hello. Good to see you. Angie and Juella, hello, thank you. You missed the last one. Well, I'm glad you're here. Facebook user, who are you? Gina, hello. Julie, hello. Sharon, good to see you. Ladora, not to be confused with Delora. I'm very appreciative of tonight's topic. You know what? Me too. Hi, Norma. Thanks for being here. So we're just gonna wing it for like 2 more minutes. In other words, stall for 2 minutes because I can. You look beautiful in yellow. You know, not many blondes can pull off yellow, and you pull it off quite well.
Thank you very much, Elias. I appreciate it. It's bright and sunny.
It is. And Delora, the original, is here. I'm so glad that she's here. Thanks for being here, everybody. Well, okay, I've stalled enough. I'm so excited. It is a good topic about nurturing grief and loss. Oh, I can hear myself in the background. We've got a little, no, we're good now. Okay. It's so good to have you here and this topic about nurturing grief and loss. I think so many people don't know what to do, don't know what to say to the people that are grieving, don't know what to do when they are grieving, and don't know what to do with loss. Now, Cathleen, Elle is a best-selling, number one best-selling author of this amazing book called Shattered Together. It is a mother's journey from grief to belief, a guide to help you through sudden loss. This book, I'm telling you, I recommend it to so many of my clients, and they have said how wonderful it is and how helpful it is for you writing this book. And guys, look, it's a shattered heart. And if you look at it, we tilt it this way. This is Kathleen's son's profile. He is no longer with us. He decided to leave this world on his own accord. And you wrote this book, and Kathleen and I met in Ecuador on our trip, I can't believe a year ago, March. And she has amazing energy, probably one of the kindest hearts that I'm privileged to know, and a lot of wisdom. And you do grief counseling, you do grief retreats in Costa Rica and other places. And welcome. I'm so glad to have you here again. And thank you also, guys. If you want to check out our podcast, that is on mindbodyspirit.fm. It's also available on Google, Apple, and Spotify. I had to think of the other one, Spotify. So please go take a look. Kathleen, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Elias. I just got back from the Texas Eclipse Festival. So I got to spend, a week with my daughter in her element, in what she loves, the music festivals and what have you. But to be able to do the eclipse with her was just fantastic. So it's been amazing.
It was very powerful. I didn't get to see it here in the Pacific Northwest, but it was cool because one of our friends, she filmed it on TikTok, so I got to watch it, and that was pretty cool. That's
That's
cool.
great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joy said she's beautiful. Her book is so touching. Yes.
Thank you, Joy. That's
Thanks.
so sweet.
And hello, Bertha and Shelly. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. So, can you tell everybody a little bit about what is it? What is a grief guide? What is it that you do?
Well, I help people, women, to weave light into the life after loss. And how I do that is I guide them through a process of creating new truths. So every experience we have that feels traumatic, losing a loved one does feel traumatic if you're not prepared for it, especially. And there's stories we create around the traumas that we have in the moment that that's happening, the shame, the guilt, the blame, all the limiting beliefs that we've told ourselves. And so, as a guide, I get to help you walk through some of those feelings, some of
Mhm.
those emotions, and create new stories around the event. You can't change the event, but you can change the feelings around the event. So I help them do that within their mind, body, and soul. And so I help them shine from the inside out. And I also get to guide them and how they dress. So now I'm also a social stylist. So their reflection of their inner light is reflected on the outside and what they're wearing. So
Love
I
it.
just added that. So it's fun.
I love it. I think it's, we have to dress how we feel, right? And
Yeah.
dress, and
True.
dress, like you said, dress.
Or
Yep.
or dress, that's not necessarily true. When we're grieving, we
Yes.
often wanna just bury ourselves in bed. We don't, often. We don't want to communicate with people. We want to suffer in our silence often. We isolate ourselves because people don't know what to say to you, because you don't know what you need. What you need or what you want is your person back, and that's not happening in the physical world.
Right.
And I get to help them connect with them on the energetic level. So
And that's what I meant by dressing how they feel within like that inner light, that inner beauty prior to that. So we can just keep on keeping, because our loved ones as a medium wants us to be, and I mean a medium as in psychic medium, not a medium as in this is what this shirt is. It's not large. We're slowly working towards a medium, but it is about bringing that light that the loved one that is no longer with us wants us to do. Ron, all the way from Israel. Shalom, my friend. Thank
Oh,
you so much for being here.
yeah.
Amanda, thank you for being here. Ren, thank you for being here. Vicky, hello, hello. Amanda says, or they expect you to get over it in a certain
Mhm.
period of time.
That's very true. Amanda's absolutely right there.
Yeah.
The expectation of 3 days or 10 days or 3 weeks of grief because of the leave that we get for work, there's a societal expectation that you should just move on. About 6 weeks into the loss that you've experienced, people start to drop away.
Yes.
Then you feel really isolated and alone and lost and not knowing what to do.
I only have one cousin on my dad's side of the family that still keeps in contact with me. I have to tell you that first year, only two cousins from my dad's side of the family actually bothered calling after my dad passed, which my mom passed the year prior. And
Wow.
it was just, and I have close to 150 cousins,
Yeah.
dad's side, and it was pretty sad. It was really, really sad.
You're losing not only the person that you've lost, but if you're losing a husband or a wife, you often lose the family that goes along with that as well. Not always, but and people show up. I just want to say this: people show up the best way they can, and often when they don't show up, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with their discomfort on what to say, not knowing what to do, and not wanting to face the fact that they may have to face the same loss that you've faced.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, yesterday, April 9th, was the anniversary of my mom's passing. It was 24 years.
Wow.
And I put a little blurb on there, and everyone's like, hugs to you, hugs to you. I was so grateful for that. But I have to tell you that the day was not sad I mean, it all depends on year to year. It can change. Um,
Absolutely.
yesterday was about I was really feeling my mom and feeling the gratitude for her.
Mhm.
And that was a beautiful thing. I mean, trust me, 2 years ago, I was bawling. But this year, I was like, all right, I'm so grateful. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that she gets to guide me on all these things and show me where to go and help me, along with my dad. But it was like I'm so proud that they chose me to be their child. It was good. Julie says, I'm grieving in PJs, not caring for self. So yeah, gotta choose to care for myself and get dressed and get a haircut. Was just thinking if I look better, that will help me feel better. We lost all of our closest loved ones.
Yeah. Julie, I am so sorry to hear about your losses. Like one loss is enough, and then it's compounded even more when you have so many other losses. And even if and you're right, it's about movement and moving the energy. So emotions is energy in motion. And
Mhm.
or not, and if it gets stuck in there and then you get caught when it's a downward spiral when you're just in bed and all you're doing is thinking about the loss versus thinking about, or you're thinking about, I should have done something different. I could have done something different. What if onlys, all the things that we'd love to beat ourselves up with. And because I've experienced it, I also understand it from a personal level that you do need to allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. And at the same time, okay, give yourself a certain amount of time, whether it's 10 minutes, an hour, or 2 hours. Give yourself a set of time each day to be able to move through some of those really difficult emotions, especially if you're working. And then make a choice, even if it's to get up and shower and put on clean pajamas that feel soft and cozy and warm. It doesn't mean you have to dress like me today. It just means you're getting up and you're moving and moving energy. So what you're wearing does matter. It does change the outs. What you're wearing on the outside either reflects your inside. If you're feeling like crap, you're going to continue to feel like crap because you're going to go out into the world and say, telling yourself, oh my God, I look like crap. I don't care what people think, but you really do because it's on your mind.
Right. Right.
you know,
And that shower, everyone, is think about it what it does energetically.
and
You are washing that away. Yes, you're washing that away. Hello, Victoria. Good to see you. Soul Seeker. Hello, my friend. Guys, Nikki and her husband Scott own a business and they have chartered people all around the British Virgin Islands. So check them out. Check them out. Cindy says, oh, I need this so bad. I keep falling back. Can't handle much more.
and
So
that's okay, Cindy. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay, Cindy, because it is not a linear process. When Elizabeth Kubler-Ross wrote the book, The Five Stages of Grief, humans put that in a linear process. It's like, this is the first stage, this is the second stage, this is the third. That is not the case. It is a messy up and down. And Elias just said it, even 22 years later, he was crying. That doesn't mean you're grieving. There's just a little sadness there.
Yeah.
When you allow the sadness to go through, or you could be crying because you just have such deep gratitude with the connections like this year, like the deep connection of knowing you're being guided. And I will say this, never in my life would I say I am glad that my son took his life, ever. That's not at all what I'm going to say. What I am going to say, though, is that if it took one life to change the thousands of people's lives that I've changed, that we've changed, he and I have changed with co-creating with other people, then it's well worth it for me. He also helped me heal through some pretty deep traumas myself that I was carrying for many, many years and lifetimes and generational. So he has helped so many people that I have such deep gratitude that I get to make the world different from my experiences.
So true. So true. And that's what we do, guys. Whether we know this or not, part of us say, okay, here's our soul contract. This is what's going to happen. And because of the experience, I'm going to teach on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to share it. Yes, showers are so cleansing, not just litter, totally. After working with Elias, my view on, oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Soul Seeker. That's beautiful. Hello, Diana. Ladora says the five ingredients of grief. Yes, it's a great book.
Ingredients, I love that too.
Yeah.
You're right. They're ingredients. Yeah.
Yeah. Crying helps. So true. Gail says, I've lost everyone older than me. I have my sons and grandkids, but it's a bear not having your parents and grands and to talk to. This is true, but I have to tell you, I talk to my parents all the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
every day. Every day I talk to them. And they are guiding from above in a different way, which it was limiting them here on earth, and now they are limitless up there and helping me to create that limitless within me now here in the present. So Janice says they're gone, never coming back.
I might challenge you a little on that, Janice. And I know this doesn't feel very good because we do get stuck in that space of if we can't talk to them or touch them, or we can't hear their laughter or whatever that may be, it may feel like they're not here. What I will agree with you on is their physical presence is gone, and that is not coming back. You are absolutely correct. From my perspective at this moment, truth changes every day. The more aware I become, the more I know I don't know that much, and at the same time, Janice, there's a way that you can create a new relationship with your energetic presence. And that's what I do. I help people walk through that and find and start to believe and trust in the signs that are there. Oftentimes, people don't even see the signs or know that the signs are there because they just don't believe it's possible, or they're so caught up in the pain. There are layers around our light within, and those layers are about protection and safety and limiting beliefs. And so it like dulls the light that's shining out, but it also blocks the ability for the light to come in. And so the more that you lift those layers and create new truths around those layers, you start to realize that your light is so bright that it's connected to the light of your loved ones.
Right.
Now, sometimes you may hear their voice. Sometimes you may just feel this brush on your shoulder. Other times it may be a feather that drops in front of you and there's no birds around. It could be a penny. It could be anything. It could be a song that comes on the radio. It could be a license plate that has their initials on there. Those are messages for you that they are there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because even though I do this work,
Mm-hmm.
The first year was nothing for me with my mom. Nothing.
Yeah.
I would have dreams. She would pop in. I would say, "What are you doing here? You're dead." I'd wake up like that. I was so angry. I was angry at myself and really upset. And I felt guilty for not being there when she took her last breath. I felt guilty for not telling her I was gay. There was just so many things that I felt that, like you said, Kathleen, blocked that energy coming through. And once I did, I had this great dream that I told her I was gay, and she said, "Okay." She said, "We want you to love whoever you want to love." And I introduced her to some of my people that I was dating. I mean, the dream felt like it was like several years long. And she said, "Well, I don't really care for that one, but you have to go with what you feel." And it was really, really fascinating. And I felt so much love when I woke up. My heart was full. My chest was warm. I just really felt like they really saw me. And it was beautiful. Ron's being funny. Does your husband know you're gay? No, but he is.
That's funny. It's good.
That was good, Ron. That was good.
I like it.
Away from the pond. That was really good. So
And Janice, I just want to say for you is that if you feel like it's dark right now, just know that it doesn't always have to be. It can be dark in this moment, and it's okay. And just know that 5 seconds from now, you may find some light and you may be able to breathe just a little bit deeper. And it's really one step at a time and not looking for it to all go away all at once. And so this isn't about, I just snap my fingers and all of a sudden you're fine, because this is about you reclaiming your power because of the loss. It's reclaiming the power that you are, and we're more powerful than I could ever even explain here. Let me tell you, when my son died, I was laying on his grave, begging, pleading, wishing whoever, whatever took him to take me too. I felt alone. My daughter was in college in the southern part of the East Coast, and I was in the northeast coast, and I was by myself. And I hated the world. I hated myself, really, honestly, because I felt like if I could have, if I'm saving other people in public service as a legislator or as a, government official or whatever it was, then why couldn't I save my own son? So oftentimes it is the story that we're telling ourselves that's keeping us in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's something to mention, guys. No one can tell you how long it needs to be. Don't allow anybody to tell you, oh, give it a year, give it 2 years. You know what? It's a day-to-day process.
Yeah.
Day, hour by hour, whatever it is. You are feeling what you are feeling, and just be in there. Ladora says, my friend is going through this now. This live is giving me inspiration on what to say and how to be there for her.
No.
What would you say? What would you say, Kathleen, to people that, how do you nurture those people that are going through the grief and loss?
First of all, what if it has nothing to do about what you say? What if
Mm.
it has everything to do with you just being there for them?
Mm-hmm.
What if you show up and say, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. I just love you so much that I want to be here for you. So, do you know what you need from me? Or there's another thing you can say. If you knew the person that's no longer here, in their physical form, you can say, can I share a story with you about Joe or Jeff or, Julia, whoever it is, that really touched my heart because I really I miss him too. And I'd love to share this beautiful story that just warms my heart. So you get to share stories about the person that the other person is grieving, because that helps so much for the person who's grieving. It's like, oh my gosh, he's touched their lives too. I'm not in this alone. I'm not grieving by myself. And obviously you cannot understand completely what someone else is going through because you're not in their shoes. What you can do is be the space of love and compassion. And that's it. And if they ask them, what do you miss the most about them? What was the funniest thing that they ever did for you? And just get them talking about their loved one, because that helps to let the emotions start to flow again. They're in motion, and they're no longer trapped in there. So don't try to fix it. One, don't try to fix it.
Right.
2, don't tell them they're wrong. 3, don't tell them that they need to get over it and start to move on, because it could be 3 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 15 years. Who knows? Like, some people just aren't ready to step through the pain because they're often thinking that if they start crying, they'll never stop crying. If they let themselves feel what they're feeling, then that feeling will never go away. And that's simply not the truth. If you feel it, it goes away.
And I had this conversation with a friend, and, doing the work that I do. And I said to her, I said, look, we're close. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. Like you said earlier, I said to her, I said, if you need me just to listen, or if you need just to say, hey, can you sit on the phone and we don't have to say a single thing? I just need to know that someone's on the other. I'm like, just tell me, because I don't know what to say. To me, it's more than just, I'm sorry for your loss. I said, I don't have the words. So let me know what you need and how you need it. And I think that's the best way. Amanda said, I had someone tell me I'm handling the loss of my mom a lot better than I did my dad. Made me mad, so not true. Yeah. I mean, it's challenging. It is challenging. I think we need to ask for the nurturing that we need, or say, I don't know what that nurturing looks like.
Yeah.
And maybe someone say, do you want to just go out to lunch? How about just going out to lunch? I missed the connection,
Yeah.
is what I missed. I
Well,
missed,
true authentic connection,
yeah.
like, that was really important to me when I was first experiencing it with my son. I'll never forget this, I had an associate, it was a colleague of mine, and that I didn't really know that well. Well, I knew her, but she was a lobbyist, and I was, a legislator at the time, or not at the time, but anyways. I've known her, but I didn't really know her. And
Mhm.
she just showed up at my house and said, "Listen, I really would love to just walk around the block with you. Would you be willing to do that with me?" And I was like, I don't really want to, but I will." And by the time I got done, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that she actually showed up and did that for me."
Yeah. Yeah. I think to me, it was the most important thing, is like my cousins that I did not grow up with, they were on the north side of Chicago. We were on the south side of Chicago. When they just showed up, they're like, hey, we're in the area. Can we stop by? They brought over lunch.
Yeah.
They just like hung out. We laughed. It was just so nice to have that connection. Shelly said, I just needed support from people. When my daughter passed and people would say stuff like, she's in a better place, it would just make me mad. You know what? When people said that to me,
God.
I said to them, I said, I understand, but I said, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by she's in a better place? Not trying to be argumentative here, but I wanted to know, what did they mean? They said, well, we just want you to know that they're not suffering
Right.
like this. And I said, that would have been really nice to hear about what is it that they mean by that? Because sometimes I think people say that because they don't know what to say.
It absolutely is true.
Yeah.
I mean, when people say they're in a better place, you wanna rip their head off. At least I did, because there's no better place for my son than to be with me, or your daughter to be with you, Shelley, like, at least that's what we think. And the fact is, they are not suffering anymore. The pain that they experienced here in their human body and their humanness is not what is being experienced when they're free, their soul is free.
True, true. Everyone's commenting. This is great. Bertha says, I have people tell me I need to move on and find me someone else, and those people I cut off. And Bertha lost her husband. Um,
Yeah.
it's challenging. It is very challenging. Amanda says, Elias, I use your may his memory be eternal in your heart a lot with my patients' families. I just love it. Yeah, there's a Greek saying, I forgot how it goes in Greek. It basically translates to that, but we say zoisosas, which means and life to you. And then
Mhm.
there's another part that says, may their memory be eternal in your heart. That always warmed me when I heard it in Greek. And there's actually like a Byzantine little song that they sing at the funerals and wake, that says something like that, and it's always been comforting. So I thought that's a nice way of saying you're never going to lose that memory of them. May it always be eternal in your heart. Um, my dad just lost two of his closest friends within 10 days. I've been at a loss. These great tools to implement. Excellent, excellent.
So
Um,
Carson, if I may, I'm not sure if their services are already done or not, but my mom just lost her best friend of I don't know, 60 years.
oh,
And she actually, her other best friend was dying in another state. So she had already planned to go to that place. And so I got to help my mom write this beautiful remembrance for her for the service or the celebration of their life. And so just asking your mom what you can do for him, or your dad what you can do for him, because he needs that support as well.
and Kathleen knows this because Kathleen was on the retreat with me when we lost Dr. Stephen O'Connor. I'm going to get a little choked up. When we lost Dr. Stephen O'Connor on Thanksgiving, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know. So what I did was I went on the live. I did a special talk from my heart to share with people that we lost a beautiful man and what he meant for me. And I got some phone call, and I didn't do it for the phone calls, everybody, but I got some phone calls from people that I didn't even know, or I should say emails from people that I didn't know. They're like, thank you. He was really, truly a beautiful man. And they are having a celebration of his life. And it's funny, it's June 1st, which is the anniversary of my parents' wedding.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to try and make it. I don't know, but I was telling Michelle that maybe we can send in videos if we can't make it. I think
Yeah,
it would be kind of nice.
that'd be great.
Dale says, my mom has been gone 14 years and dad 12, and I miss and cry over them all the time. Yeah, this is a real topic, everybody. Ren says, I lost 18 people. Wow. Since March 2020. I did a work of art to help process. It's been healing. Whatever gets the heart moving, everybody.
Yeah. And Cindy, I think we missed Cindy. Cindy said, yes, I had to go for a drive around to find a hug when I need. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's, and this sounds silly. Go hug a tree. Go hug
for sure.
As long as it doesn't have any thorns, go hug a tree. Willow trees are amazing because what happens if you first ask permission for the tree to get a hug, you hug, and sometimes it's kind of eerie.
It talks back to you.
The little willow things, the wispies, come like around you out of nowhere. It's so cool. It's a really cool experience. So I know you've got stuff going on. You, me, Jean Tyndall, Spirit Dancer Crystals, Patricia Cobo, the one that does the soul paintings, and our friend Susan Owens, who does numerology. We are all going to be on Spirit Heart Cruises in December, and you're going to be one of the speakers as well. And what are you talking about?
Weaving light into life after loss. So it's not what I'm going to be talking about. It's the process I'm going to be doing. And so we're going to do a live interactive process. We're going to go right into it. You're going to, I don't know if we're going to connect to a loved one or what we're going to do, but there's going to be a live process. And then we're going to do some deeper decoding of all that. So yeah. And I'm going to bring some clothes as well. I don't have a place for like a fashion show, but I'm going to bring some clothes so people can, like, even pajamas. And it's right in December. So it's a perfect time for holidays.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. And if I am mistaken, let me, I'm going to check something before I open up the big fat Greek mouth. Are you not, you are doing that special Beyond the Veil.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's another one that you're doing with me in April.
So exactly. Yeah.
That's the end of this month. Did you get your times yet or no?
I did get my time only because I had a conflict and I wanted to make sure that I could. So I did get the time. Yeah.
You're lucky. When is your time, Kathleen?
I'll be speaking on Sunday morning. Yes. Early Sunday morning for those on the Pacific Coast, but I'll be speaking Sunday morning.
So and that the 27th of April.
Yes, exactly. So Beyond the Veil is it's a very inexpensive 2.5 day event. So it's definitely something that I'd highly recommend because and I can't remember. I think it's Joyce. What was her name? Janice, yeah. So Janice, it might be a great time for you to actually participate with that because it really talks about, we'll be teaching about what's beyond the veil and how working with beyond the veil, so to speak, actually helps free us here on this earth. Just a little precursor here is like, I, for a number of years, would have loved to have just been on the other side. And I just like every practice I had, I would be like going to the other side, not being here. really wishing I could be there, not here. And after several medicine ceremonies, I finally realized, like, oh my gosh, I get to be that light here on this earth. And
Mhm.
now I get to shine, just brighten the world from there. And so working with your loved ones, working with the energies beyond the veil, and it's more than just, human spirits, there's other spirits there.
And I just think it's a great topic. I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts of a good medium and a bad medium, and that looks like, and what should you expect from a mediumship reading. And then also, I will be doing some live mediumship connections. And if you go to right below eliaspatrice.com events, if you go to that, you'll see the link that will take you there. So check that out. Um, Anybody have questions, other questions for Kathleen? Hello, Ellen Jane. Good to see you. Kimberly, hello. Tina Terry, hello. And Clara, hello. Where is it? It's online, Janice. So if you go to eliaspatrice.com, look at the events page, and you'll see it. It's on there.
The other thing I want to just mention is that it's not something that's commonly talked about, and I just feel like that's why I need to bring it up, is like, does grief have to be as hard as it is?
Mm,
And I have found that I suffered for a number of years because of the stories I was telling myself, which none were true. Um, And once we walk through that or realize that, it's just allowing, not just because it's a practice and it's something that we get to um, explore if we choose to. But the fact is, the most traumatic experiences that we have can be the most freeing as well. It can be the catalyst that actually helps you to reclaim your power so you can feel the light that you were meant to feel as the human that you are in this earth.
mm.
So grief doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. If we allow ourselves to actually feel the feelings that we're feeling and create new stories from that.
I love what you said on the podcast when we talked. You said, and if you could explain it to everybody on here, you said there was a difference between grieving and sadness.
Yes. So grief is a process of the grief is either you're grieving the loss of the person, the loss of what could have been, which is again a story that we're talking about, because you don't know what could have been because it didn't happen, so you don't know. And so you're grieving what you think it could have been, you're grieving the person, and you're grieving everything that you think you should have done or shouldn't have done. And grief is definitely a process of moving through those emotions. Sadness, on the other hand, there are events that come up. When this past summer, my best friend, Lisa, her daughter got married. Lisa was on the Ecuador retreat with Elias and me and Jean and others. And her daughter got married, and her son read a poem at the wedding for the daughter, or for his sister. And my heart hurt. Not for them. I could feel them both. That's the key here, is that sadness is like, okay, I can feel both. I can feel that sadness of like, my daughter will never have that.
Mhm.
They were best friends. So she's not going to be able to experience that. That is an ability for me or for you to be able to move through the emotions of that, because there is a sadness there for that.
Mhm.
There's nothing to grieve in that. It's just a sadness that my daughter doesn't get to experience that now. And who knows whether that would have happened or not, right? I mean, we don't know where the people would be. And so I think sadness is more of allowing, like, oh, it would have been nice to have him here. Or, I don't know what holiday it was. Most holidays I'm fine now. It's been 14 years, similar to you, Elias. Most holidays I'm good. And then there's some days I just have a day I'm like, do not look at me, do not talk to me. I'm in a space, and that's when I decide to shift my energy. I go for a walk. I go do a meditation in the petroglyphs. I go by water. I meditate. I journal. I scream sometimes. I cry. Whatever needs to come out gets to come out. Now I know that holding on to those emotions only cause more of those emotions.
Right. Right.
And so you get to decide whether you want to hold on to those emotions and feel like crap, or you want to allow them to flow through and be in a better space as you allow them to flow through, because it's not either or. It's like emotions change moment to moment to moment. They're just emotions.
So true. And the one of the happiest days of my life was getting married at Skamania almost 2 years ago. And it's funny, when I got married the first time, I missed my parents, but this time felt even more different than the first time. I felt like I really, really wanted them to be there. And John's parents were gone as well. And I think I've showed you this picture, but that night we were by the fire doing s'mores at the lodge, because they have a beautiful little fire and they have Adirondack chairs in a circle. And we brought stuff for s'mores. And a friend of ours took a picture and she said, Elias, come over here. And I go, what's up? She said, I just took this picture, no flash whatsoever, and I've got to show you what showed up. And it was something that told me that our parents were there, like without a doubt.
Yeah, the angel in the sky,
And
for sure.
I was like, that's crazy.
You can't make that up.
You can't make that up. And there was a picture. Let's see. Oh yeah, the picture. Like, there was a couple of us, and you could see that there was energy, like that purple green.
Yeah.
It was just, things were happening. Things were happening. Sharon was there. Yeah, Sharon. Thank you. And she was there. It was just amazing. Somebody said something up here. Was it? And guys, you got to forgive me on StreamYard. Sometimes these things go really fast and I don't get to see them. Well, prayers for you, Dale. What we're going to do is we're going to have a special prayer list for people at the sound healing this weekend at the retreat. So we'll put you on there. Amanda says anticipatory grief is challenging as well.
Oh, it sure is. And what's it depends on what you're talking about with anticipatory grief, Amanda. Because if you're anticipating someone's going to die, so I'll just use an example. Like, one of my clients, their friend has cancer and it's stage 4, and so there's anticipatory grief there.
Right.
What I encourage people to do when they know that is to go and listen to oh my gosh, his name's just Anderson Cooper podcast. There's one podcast where he interviews this woman who she asked her father a bunch of questions before he died. And so I've done that with my mom. You can actually ask them questions and share stories with them. One of the most beautiful things that I'll always remember about spending time with you is X, Y, and Z. Or there's different ways that you can come across with the anticipatory grief when someone's going to depart this earth in the human body. Their human body is not going to be here any longer. You can prevent some of that anticipatory grief. When you're talking about anticipatory grief about someone who's already gone, and you're anticipating that they're not going to go to college, you're never going to see them graduate, you're not going to see them get married, you're not going to have grandchildren, that's anticipatory grief as well. And that's all stories. Again, while it may be fact that that's not going to happen, what else could be happening in that place?
Right.
Yeah.
Amanda said she did that with her mom while watching her die and trying to be strong.
Love
it's
it.
challenging, Amanda. Very challenging. Jeremy McDonald, there he is.
Yay,
We were just talking about you. And talking about Beyond the Veil. And then we also, prior to that, we're talking about the Spirit Heart Cruise. The man that makes these things happen, everyone, Jeremy McDonald. And Jeremy will be on my live sometime soon, right? And we'll talk about that. I think it would be fun to have me, you, Jean, we'll have Jeremy, we'll have Patricia, we'll have Susan, we'll get all of us to come on and call it a Spirit Heart Cruise chit chat.
Yeah.
We'll have everybody on a live. That would be fun. Jeremy says, yes, I'm down. Let's do it. Yay. I'm sending out your speaking times right as we speak. Excellent, because that would be great to announce, wouldn't it? Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. So
or maybe Jeremy could just type in the chat when we're both speaking. That would be helpful.
Just type it in the chat, my friend. Type it in the chat, because Jeremy just sent me a message that says, "Hi, are you free to chat for a second?" In about 12 minutes, I will be. Too funny. Kathleen, Elle, you read my mind. Excellent, because Kathleen will be on, you guys, on Sunday, April 28th at, tell them the time again.
Oh, I don't have the time in my head. Like I don't have that yet. I just know it's in the morning.
It's in the morning. It's in the morning. It's in the morning. Excellent. Other questions you guys that you may have for Kathleen. Let me tell you again, guys, if you haven't purchased this book, please get it. It is so good. You did such a great job. And I have to tell you, you inspired me, because my book's being edited, and I was like, you know what? Look what you did in this amount of pages.
Yeah.
You put in so much in there, and it didn't have to be this thick book. And I was like, thank you, Kathleen. Thank you.
And at the end of the chapters, there's practices that I incorporated in my journey along my journey of what helped me. And so each chapter you can, and it doesn't need to be for someone who's lost a child. It's for anybody, anything that you've lost, you can relate to this book. There are stories, it's self-help, it's guidance, and it's also, it's direction for you to be able to start picking up one practice or something that would work for you. And if you feel like you just can't read the whole book, that's okay. What you can do is literally pick up the book and say, close your eyes and just say, Source, please show me exactly what I need or you want me to know today. Mm-hmm. Open the book and start reading, because the chapter that you're on is the chapter that you need to read, because you can read chapters, it doesn't have to be chronological. Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot. And thank you, Jeremy. Please hold, everybody, because I'm putting it in my thing right here as we speak. This is Beyond the Veil. Not being the veil, but that could help too. Beyond the Veil. There we go. So, guys, I will be on the 27th at 1:50 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 10:50 Pacific and 12:50 Central. And Kathleen is on at 11:30 to 11:55 Eastern Time, which is 8:30, 8:30 Pacific and 9:30 Central. So thank you. And Raymond Moody is on at 1 o'clock to 1:45 on Eastern Time. So that is great. And there's Kathleen's book. Excellent. You are welcome to be on here anytime you want, my friend. Anytime.
I love being with you, so I just love playing with you. This is perfect.
And if you want to do a little special, I'm looking. October, I know it's far away, but October is all about transform. Maybe we could do like transform with your fashion stuff.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be so fun.
We'll talk about it. We got time. We'll talk
Yeah,
again.
it'd be so much fun. I would love that.
And guys, again, please go to, it's really simple. If you want to book a session with Kathleen or find out about her grief retreats, whatever you need, get her book, go to KathleenL.com. It's her first name, last name.com. And again, you are welcome anytime, my friend. Everyone. So we will have a couple surprise lives, probably from Scamania when we're there this weekend. And so stay tuned. Remember, like, follow, and share and subscribe on YouTube. And if you are not following me on Facebook, please do. Even though you get there, you have to like and follow on Facebook, because I'm just going to say it. It really does help us when we go to somebody and they're like, how many people on your social media? We have to let them know. So yes, say that one more time, Beyond the Veil Times. You're testing me, Delora. All right. So for Kathleen, Beyond the Veil is 8:30 Pacific, 9:30 Central. I'm sorry, 8:30, 8, 9, 10, 11, 8:30 Pacific, 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, all the way for, she's speaking till 11:55 Eastern. Do the math. And then and then for me, it's 1:50 Pacific time. I'm sorry, 1:50 Eastern, which is 10:50 Pacific, 12:50 Central, and 1:50 Eastern. So there you go.
And they're all in the chat as well.
All in the chat. All in the chat, everyone. So remember, guys, we are here to connect. And when we connect, we educate. And when we educate, we grow. There is unity in community. From our hearts to yours. Thanks, everybody. Mwah. Be well, and we'll see you soon. Remember, like, follow, share, subscribe, and all that other fun stuff. Sign up for the email list. Talk